Loyola has held 4 straight opponents under 55 points. Last year in order, UNI scored 50, Bradley 54, Illinois State 54 in a title game, and today 54. So first time in tournament history a team has held an opponent to 55 or 54 and under 4 straight games. Okay, Loyola's here. They have a date with either Bradley or Missouri State in tomorrow's first semifinal game. Porter Mosier is here, Cameron Krutwig, Marcus Towns. We're going to ask Porter to start off with a statement on the game. As I said earlier, then we'll have questions for all 3 members of Loyola. Porter, please.
I didn't know that stat, but these guys have bought into the in this setting you really got to defend, and I thought we did a nice job spacing and moving the ball on offense, but for me, I was so excited about how we started defensively. I thought that dictated everything. I thought it dictated our confidence on offense. I thought our bench came in and there wasn't any letdown on either end. I thought our bench did a great job. Frank, Bruno, Cooper, Christian, those 4 did a great job off the bench elevating the play. And that's what you want your bench, to elevate the energy. And I thought they did a great job defensively and continuing to do it.
Questions? Start there on the aisle, and Ron will be number 2.
Now that you've won the award with the student turnout here, how was the MVP chant?
I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to that. I was just so locked. I was so locked in.
Great answer.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, I got the award I think yesterday, so I mean, it was cool.
Marcus, after Cameron's late dunk, you and Lucas both went like this. What does that mean?
It's just something that ball players do. And if you dunk on somebody, it's on their head, like head top.
Oh, okay.
He dunked on his head.
And then, Coach, knowing that the Valley's probably just going to get the one bid this year. Last year, you guys were kind of a bubble team, so even if you didn't win the tournament, there was still a chance. Maybe you would have gotten an at-large bid. How much more of a sense of urgency is there with this year's tournament?
I first want to comment on this. It's a very Jesuit, clean-cut way to get excited. It's not trash talking or anything. There's no technical fouls. It's a very inside, clean Jesuit way to do things. The second thing, you know, I didn't do it last year. These guys will tell you. All we're talking about is right in front of us. We don't feel any urgency either way. We prepare every game throughout the whole year like the next game in front of us, the biggest game of the year. So these guys don't feel any different with our prep. I mean, we prep the same way every game. We don't talk about at the end. We talk about what's right in front of us. We did it last year, and these guys love that. They bought into it, and we also were just talking. Whether you win by 20 in a tournament setting, by 2, 5, 8, it doesn't make a difference. It's still a win. It doesn't mean you're great because you won by this point total. Doesn't mean you're not as good because you won by 1. You advance. And you get right back to it, and we got to prepare the next opponent. That it will have nothing to do with our next opponent. We got to get better and focus in on what's right in front of us.
For Marcus and Cameron, the last time you were here last year, you won it all. I'm just wondering, you know, when you step on the court, you're human, you must feel some emotions or have some flashbacks. Do you use that kind of as motivation? Do you try to put it out of your head? Just, you know, what were some of the things you were thinking about when you step on the court and how you handle that?
Cam, you first, please.
Yeah, obviously, you know, we were here last year. We played in a big-time game here, a couple big-time games. So it's good to be familiar. You know, we know the surroundings. We know what the arena's like. We know, you know, just where the bench is going to be, things like that, just to get familiar. You know, you can't forget about last year, you know, but you try to just kind of block it out and just focus on the game that we're about to play. And then, you know, this year is a new year, so, yeah.
Yeah, and just to follow up on that, you know, we have veterans and people that have been here before. You know, me, Krut, Clay, Lucas, Christian, Bruno. We have a lot of guys that's been here before, and you know, all we try to do was tell the young guys that we had come in. You know, that last year we just had such a laser-like focus on blocking out everything and focusing on what we need to do. You know, game after game, just one game at a time, and I feel like we did that today. You know, we stepped it up on defense, and I feel like that's what won us the game.
Porter, you often say you're created by culture. Valpo is going through a culture thing right now of getting into the Valley. I guess in year 2, playing them here, what are you seeing from their journey, their culture, and getting them to where you guys may want to be, or where you guys are?
One, this league has always been about defense, and Valpo is one of the best defensive teams in the league. They play physical, they play hard, they get up in you. They definitely made a step up from last year. I mean, I've been through it, and their arrow's going up. I think you got to really start by defending if you're ever going to be at the top of this league, and they're doing that. I think Matt's got them playing unbelievably hard defensively, and our guys will tell you that. And that's a big thing when you come into this league. And you'll start to get familiar with the teams. You know, you start to get familiar with the teams and the venues and everything. That helps too.
Maybe it was a little bit, gave you a little scare when Lucas has to leave the game for a bit. Did he just kind of land awkwardly and tweak something there? Or?
Yeah, it's funny because he won't even acknowledge anything. He walked off the court. He came back. I'm fine. I go, Lucas, you want to go back? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. Like it was like nothing ever happened. He just, yeah, of course it does. Any of our guys, but bumps and bruises are part of this. So we'll see. He'll get all the treatment, the recovery, and he'll see. But yeah, I mean, you can see what he means to our team defensively right out of the gate for us, and he gives us another guy that spaces everything.
The bench play.
Yeah.
Is that the best you've seen out of them in a way? Or
I would say collectively, each one of them have had some big games here or there. Cooper's had some big games. Bruno's had some nice games. Frank, but just completely came in collectively. And you want an energy lift when your bench comes in. And I thought they did that. I thought the energy defensively, getting up and down the court, getting our transition game going. And that was that's what you want. We talked about in the locker room. You're going to need 9-10 guys in this thing to keep going. I thought we had contributions from everybody that played. Had contributions.
Question on the right. Go ahead.
Question for Cameron. So you scored 8. So that's top not only for Loyola but of the game entirely. And you were up against Loyola a lot, who's a tough player. What got you going and really brought that out today?
Yeah, I mean, those two bigs for Valpo are really big. They're both 7 feet, and they're strong and physical. So it was definitely, hard to go against them. But honestly, I'm not really worried about the points or anything like that. We got the win. So that's all that really matters. And just to get myself going, the coaches were kind of stressing to be aggressive early. We had a couple plays set to get me the ball in the post and things like that, and just kind of go to work. Other than that, it wasn't anything that different that I did. So
We are halfway through the session. We have 2 questions up. Ron here, and then Dick Ludke in the back. Go.
Porter, you mentioned the defensive start, but how important was the fast start? I mean, you guys scored the game's first 9 points, and you were up by 22 at halftime.
It's always great to do that, and we've had games we've done that. We've had games we didn't, and we always say your offense can't dictate your defense. And if we were missing those shots, I really feel the guys are in a good place and they're not going to let up defensively. And that's it's always got to be your defense dictates your offense. If the fast start dictates or a slow offensive start dictates your defense, you're in trouble. And these guys have been through enough. They've heard it, me pound it in their heads enough. And I think just seeing the energy, how they defended, I really think they were connected defensively today. And I think that's a big. They're understanding that, especially when you hear that stat. That means they're bought in and understand that in this tournament setting.
You guys last year were at the top of the bracket. Now you are again this year. How significant is the advantage to get those few extra hours between games?
Marcus, you first, then Cameron.
Yeah, definitely. Nobody really wants to play that first game on Thursday, because then you have to play that game, and then you got to come back and play early in the morning again, and you got to try to win 4 games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So definitely that meant a lot to us. And we like to keep our legs fresh. I know today everybody came in and contributed, like Coach said, and And that's our mentality. You know, we had a trust factor. Everybody trusted each other, and everybody came in and uplifted each other. And we just got to keep that going. And that meant a lot to us, you know, to get that #1 seed and to win the regular season championship. And hopefully we'll be playing again on Sunday.
Yeah, like he said, just gives you a huge advantage with rest and things like that. And also, you know, now that our game's over, we can now focus on the next one and kind of get scouting and things like that. So we can just move forward from our game because we're the first game today. So we just move on to the next one after we know who wins this game. We'll be all on top of it.
Thank you, guys.
Anything else for the Ramblers? I guess not. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
We'll see you tomorrow.